Ok, sitten katsotaan Ima-video. Piha-video suorastaan. Ima, a fake star. Katsotaan, onko kyseessä totta tosiaan feikki tähti, kun Imasta puhutaan.
Today we're going to be denigrating Ima, and for good reason. His output is pitiful for the position, space, and allowance he has to bait the shit out of his teammates. And frankly, I'm sick of watching Ima get away with murder everywhere but the server. Now, some of you might say, Ima has a good number. Didn't you see that number? That number is good. And if you do think that way, I want to inform you that you're from the shallow end of the gene pool. Welcome in the waters.
No olen toistaiseksi ollaan samaa mieltä. Toistaiseksi on samaa mieltä. 1-1-7 ei ole hyvä tämän tason pelaajalle.
This is lovely. And when you're getting in, maybe you could look at this number. You can't even go positive, for fuck's sake! Gentlemen, when I was editing this video, I realised I missed an opportunity to further denigrate him. These are his stats versus the top 10 teams individually. He is putting Carrigan numbers up against his primary competition.
Ei pärjää kyllä huippuvihui vastaan. Ekofarmaa, bozo-kuolemia, eli ylivoimalta kuolemia, eli virhealttein pelaaja.
Among you with an eye test did not
Katsotaan, onko tämä samaa mieltä.
Need to be told Ima is underperforming. It is quite clear to see. But I do think if you haven't watched the demos, you don't realise just how bad it's getting for Ima. I'm talking just bad mechanics like movement and aim. Just aren't good enough as a second star in a tier 1 team trying to win trophies. Obviously there's more to the game than mechanics, but when you are being set up for a multi-kill and straddle the line between 1 and 0, you are just minimum viable product the human. And that setup is the primary issue. For Ima to get kills, they need to be blind or not looking at him. And you might say, Vondas, that's an over-exaggeration. Well, motherfucker, I went and watched every single kill he got at Atlanta from the enemy's POV.
Aina, ja sit se juoksukaasuttelu. Tässä oli aika pahoja esimerkkejä, mutta katsotaan. Ei lytätä Imaa ihan täysin. Mä tarvii konkreettisia esimerkkejä vielä muutamia.
Going to have to admit, I did miss 3 kills, too busy counting this paper, and I'm not going back to watch them. But I split them into 3 categories. Not looking, jumping, blind or through a smoke, heads up with a gun advantage, and heads up without a gun advantage. And the results are in. 75 heads up gun duels, where the guns were somewhat even, 36 gun advantage heads up, and 118 not looking, blind or free kills. So that would make it over 51% of Ima's kills are on players that either can't see him or have no way of accurately shooting him, or have a gun disadvantage.
Okei. Mitä sanonko, että yli puolet Iman tapoista tulee vihui vastaan, jotka ei katso sitä, ei näe sitä, tai jos niillä on huonompi ase vastaus. Mennään kohta katsoa kans Iman semmonen statsi kuin Dual Swing. Mä voin näyttää sen kohta. Sen pitäisi just mitata sitä, että voittaako vaan niinku aimitaisteluita.
As any Brit would know, 51% is an overwhelming majority. And it should be noted that I've been incredibly generous to Ima here. For example, this counts as a heads-up duel. Jesus fucking Christ, Apex. This one also counted as a heads-up duel. You'll notice he got 2 players to take contact before he peeked. This also counted. Fucking hell, try. And this one also counted as a heads-up duel. Flames, I'm begging you engage your brain. He's not going to peek into the Molotov. His time to kill is too fucking high to stand.
No.
Flames, I'm begging you engage your brain. He's not going to peek in.
He's not going to peek into the molly, mutta kyllä joskus pelaajat tekee niin kuin ne yrittää. Et Flames nyt yritti 200 IQ:ttaa, mutta Ima pelasikin aika basicisti.
Into the Molotov, his time to kill is too fucking high to stand in it. Love you though. And now you might notice that some of these aren't heads-up duels. Some of these are actually him not looking and just defiling a player. This happens exceedingly rare. In fact, I would say a lot of the kills he got in this were him being a second or third contact, sometimes even just being part of a triple peek. Okay then, Vondas, why in the fuck did you do all of that and what the fuck does it tell you? So doing this actually gives you a very good view on how much setup a player is getting in a team, and their general skill set, whether it be they're a player that relies on their mechanics more, or if they're a player that relies on their brain more. And from watching Ima's games, he does not rely on
Ima vihaajat syö hyvin nyt.
his hands, and thank Yakub he does not. Ima relies on his teammates to take first contact, the flashes to be perfect, and the system to be built around him getting kills. So he is perhaps one of the most wretched beasts in all of existence. a system star, and
Miksi
barely
Blade
a
antaa
good
tän
one at
jatkaa?
that. These system stars will occasionally catfish you with a good shot, but you have to remember this is not the norm. These system stars have no hands, so when the plan goes to shit, they also go to shit. And on top of that, they are less likely to pull a round out of their arse than their mechanically talented counterparts. Sickening, isn't it? But how do I know this? Well, beyond just watching all of the kills he got back from the enemy's POV, I went and watched 31 of his pistol rounds, which were spread over Blast Rivals and
Yikes.
Atlanta, so he had time to get used to Anagraph too. And then every kill he got at Atlanta from his POV, and then another 4 demos on top of that. I've also decided to include some clips from the Major here, so that would be every clip with a blue crosshair. Every clip with a purple crosshair is not at the Major. And it's actually astonishing how much resources and priority he gets, considering how little he puts out. And you might initially think, why the fuck would I look at pistol rounds? I looked at pistols because it helps.
Mä toivon, että jossain vaiheessa menee myös just niinku siihen makrotason päätöksentekoon, mitä se tekee niissä ylivoimatilanteissa. Ehkä se on tulos.
To isolate a few very important aspects of aiming for tag FPS. The important ones are corrections, click timing, mouse control, and then slightly less important but becoming more important with Donk and Kensisil trying to turn CS2 into a movement shooter in reactivity. But Vondas, I'm a CS player, I don't know what the fuck any of that means. What the fuck are you saying, you nerd? Corrections should be self-explanatory, but I have played with you animals and we aren't sending our best, so I'll explain it anyway. Corrections are just any smaller movement you make to adjust your crosshair to a target, and the most important part of aiming in Counter-Strike along with crosshair placement. Donk has the best corrections in Counter-Strike. It looks like he's playing with a low FOV aimbot. Click timings are just how well you press mouse 1 on your target or how well you time your shots. Imma in particular is troglodytic at this, as evidenced by Imma only being beaten by Zontix and Alexi B for the worst headshot accuracy in Tier 1. Mouse control covers a wide range of fairly obvious things, so I'll just name a few that you might not be looking for. Stability in your flick landings, so you can shoot instantly if you do land a flick.
Toi hyvä pointti toi stabiliteetti, kuinka smoothia toi aipaaminen on, niin ei muuten ole kovin smoothin näköistä, on hätäisen
And if you
näköistä.
don't, you can make an easier adjustment. Can you transition between larger and faster movements to smaller, more precise crosshair movements, quickly and accurately? How does panic or surprise show up in your aim? For most people, this manifests as tensing up, which takes away a lot of the fine control in your aim, and clicking before you're on target. Reactivity is how well you aim on a target that is moving erratically in such a way to throw off your aim or bait out shots. In CS, this would be how well you react to being jiggled, or shooting SMGs and pistols moving in a deliberately hard-to-predict way, and people moving or tapping crouch mid-duel. So what did Imma struggle with compared to other pro players? Click timing,
Mä muistan, että klipin tää oli nolo. Ja sitten Ima niinku nauraa tän jälkeen. He.
duel. So what did Imma struggle with compared to other pro players? Click timing, reactivity, control, speed, and accuracy. So in other words, he's an armless wonder. And when you set up an armless wonder, all they can deliver is the bare minimum, and sometimes not even that.
Okay.
As usual, Imma's got good spacing here. Oh my god, just throw bleach in my eyes. How is this the first round? You see, Alexi B is taking first contact here for Imma. This happens a lot.
Yeah.
Basically, they're meant to swing and focus on Alexi B, and Imma's going to get them looking unaware, which
Okay,
is the majority of what he's good
Alexi
at. Mezzi sees 2 there. He should com that. Is Flames aware? 16 bullets! Just see what that looks like from Flames' POV. A stream of pistols.
Kyllä aika pitkä tappo.
Is more accurate.
Kieltämättä.
Okay, we're on an anti-eco here. Imma does love an anti-eco kill, but I'm not going to hold it against him. I think we all love the feeling of power over a weaker person. So here's that deagle ring out, and let's just... Jesus! Okay, so the setup here is Imma is going to be on long in a relative...
Onhan tässä silleen, että näitä paljon kattelee, niin... Siis näyttää, että vihu ampuu usein aika kovaa, mutta sit tietty, että jos näitä sattuu enemmän kuin kenellekään muulle, niin onhan se aika karrun näköistä.
Mate, they're not even fucking looking at you. They didn't even clear that corner properly, and you can't fucking kill them. Like, look at this shit from Mezzi. Look, he doesn't even clear it properly. Like, you're losing angels to people flicking off you fucking dickhead. Does Imma win the round in that position? Otherwise, probably not. But if you're getting...
Siis mä oon kohdellut Imaa silkkihansikkaa suorastaan.
Speaking of gripping your mouse and shooting back, Imma's going to be peeking with another player and a flashbang. He can actually get a kill this time, but you'll see that Apex isn't looking at him and Flames is blind. Okay, those are kills that you just have to get. If the player's not looking at you and the other one's blind, you just have to get those kills. Like, you know, a kill's a kill. You do have to get them. The setup literally has to be someone peeking with him, someone not looking at him, or a perfect flashbang. So he's winning incredibly favourable duels. But they are incredibly important kills to get, and if you didn't get these kills, you would 100% lose the round. And obviously it is a skill to even put yourself in these positions, because you need to have a good read on the game to do it. And this is the issue you have in kicking Imma, is that a lot of the players you would get to replace him are far less intelligent than he is. And in a Blades team, you need an intelligent player, which is why it takes Na'Vi quite a long time from rebuilding a roster to get up to their peak level. But I do hope you will actually engage your eyes when you're watching these videos and just realise the mechanics on this player are so subpar that he's actively losing them rounds and games. Because when you give him this many resources and get such little output that even on the stupid feckless rounds that other players might fuck up, at least they might actually just get a multi-kill somewhere that Imma would never do. That just turns the round on its head. And crucially, consistently capitalise on the resource.
Frozen twists, Kaiser and Spinks would lay so much in Imma's positions. Jo, Frozen olisi ihan ilmiömäinen tuohon, se olisi niinku täydellinen. Twistikin olisi loistava. Noi on kaksi, jotka vois kuvitella, että saattaisi jossain maailmassa liikkuu. No Spinksikin olisi parempi. Itse en kyllä Spinksia ihan hirveästi fanita. Mun mielestä se on syysä, että Apex vihas Spinksinkaan pelaavista.
Something you really should notice here is how good Imma's spacing is. He got that trade on Makaze because of how good his spacing was. And if you just pay attention to the radar or just roughly where the teammates are, you'll notice that his spacing is incredibly tight. And even if the teammates aren't necessarily coming with him at the same pace, he slows down to keep up with the teammates. This is actually really fucking important in Pro CS. Hooksy, in particular, is dog shit at this. You're lucky I haven't got the energy to make a video about you, you little shit. But the reason why spacing is important is because it allows very efficient trading. Imma, I'm trying to fucking praise you, please! Imma's last to take contact here, but he was throwing the util, so you can't hate him for it. As much as I'm trying to. Just in case you aren't noticing this as I am, he's shooting before he engages the counter-strafe. Like, Imma is the only supposed star player I've seen fuck up counter-strafes this frequently. Imma hasn't practiced his spray control since CSGO, I swear.
Siis jos ei tää video saa Imalle potkuja,
to God. Imma's got here without them here. Here's 2 bonus rounds from the major. So every mistake he makes here is twice as bad because it's the most important tournament of the season and you have failed catastrophically at it. Bondonians, let me set the stage for you a little bit. Na'Vi, battered on the first half, having a comeback. Let's go, boys. We've got an anti-force buy and a man advantage. What position does Imma decide to play?
Okei, mistä se voisi pelaa? Siellä on 2 tupla pitti. Näköjään voisi olla longilla, ei ole infoa longista. Menisikö se tonne saitin sisään? Se olisi niinku, eikö se olisi ihan ok paikka, jos se ehtii sinne? Okei, tästä.
Okay, well, so he's incredibly committed here, but thank God he's a star player, so he must have good aim. So let's just see how this pans out for him. He looks like he's aiming with a resistance band on his arm.
Voi ei. Ja siis tää on niin paha, jos sä kuolet tästä ilman tappoa, niin se on longikontrolli vihuille, ne pääsee räppäämään tonne saitille 2-3 eri paikasta. No tää on semmonen boso-kuolema, mistä mä puhuin. Että tässä jos kuolee, se on boso-kuolema. 5-4.
Actual fucking cretin. You've committed to the fight. I don't care if a smoke is coming in. You have made your decision. And it was a terrible decision. I don't know why you can't just jiggle peek it from the door like a functioning member of society. Imma gets a kill from one of the most ungodly positions and timings I've ever seen in Counter-Strike. If I was Teslas, I'd be smashing my mouse. That's you're taking the piss there, Imma. Then he runs through, flashes into CT, wide swings 2 players, barely hits any of them and dies. But wait, it gets worse.
Se valotti tässä Wonderfall. Mä muistan kyllä. En unohda tämmösiä Ima-hetkiä.
This sub-sentient dickhead flashes his AWPer off the fucking angle. Cheers, mate! So the conclusion is kick him immediately and block his number.
Okei, Ima-vihavideo Vondas CS-kanavalta ja käydään vielä kattoo ne Iman...
Alright, slags.
Mitä tapahtuu? Mennään kattoo Iman tilastoja tämmöiseltä sivulta, josta tykkään kyllä. Ready.gg. Täällä on tämmöiset omat statsinsa. Ja tässä on esimerkiksi, no Navin statsejahan me katellaankin, mitäpä muuta, mutta voidaan kurkkaa vaikka Falconsin tällä, että monesi on eliittiä, ja tuossa on dual swingi, eli se miten voittaa aimitaisteluita käytännössä. Round swingi sitten on se, mitä HLTVlläkin on vähän niin kuin käytössä, että kuin tärkeä se kierros on pelin kontekstissa, että jos sä voitat jollain Forcella tai Ekolla, ja otat siinä monta tappoa, niin siitä pitäisi tulla aika paljon round swingia. Kiosuke overperforming VTCs tuolla, Karrigan on täällä botleneckino, ja Karriganin dual swingi -200%. Mutta mennään katsomaan Naviin. Makatse totta kai paras, käy järkeä, dual swingi 87 pinnaa, wonderful, dual swingi 70 pinnaa, hyviä aimaajia, bitti 50 pinnaa, hyviä aimaajia on. Ja sitten meillä on Ima. Average 52 pistettä, dual swingi +10, vähän vajaa, eli reilusti huonompi kuin tiimikaverinsa, ja pelaa kuitenkin niitä paikkoja, missä sitä saa setuppia noista tiimikavereilta, että Aleksi pelaa sen ekan kontaktin, tai valoilla saa piikata, pääsee lurkkiin hyvin, että saa niitä ilmaisiakin tappoja. Dual swingi, joo, toi vastaa, mitä me videolla nähtiin. Ja sitten round swingi pakkasen puolella, eli selkeästi jää tiimikavereille ja kuitenkin pelaa noita hyviä paikkoja. Niin tää on se, mä en taju, miksei kaikki ei näe sit imas sitä samaa. Jotkut kattoo sitten ne HLTV-stat, sitä 1.07 on vissiin sitten joillekin tarpeeksi hyvä, mutta tää on se mäki, jonka päällä mä oon valmis kuolemaan, että Ima pitää saada Navista pois, jos Navi haluaa sen seuraavan stepin ottaa.